This is Ian R. Crane on day 16 of the Balcombe blockade. It's Friday the 8th of August, and today there's been a whole host of trucks coming in, and the protesters are delaying each truck by anything up to about 20 minutes as they literally pigeon step down the road with the truck being escorted by the police. The atmosphere is very friendly, it's very cordial. I think the police are taking everything in their stride. It's a long shift for them. They're working close on 15-hour days. But the attitude is one that is quite cordial and quite relaxed, and it's very evident to the police that there's no real intention by the vast majority of the people here to cause any problems. And in fact, if there is anybody causing problems, then I think there's pretty much a general acceptance and awareness that they will probably have a different agenda and will probably have been deliberately sent in to cause division and disruption within the camp here. So this is a long game, and it's very evident that Quadrilla are realizing that this is something that isn't going to go away anytime soon. This camp will certainly be here until at least September the 28th, which is when the current planning application expires, after which, well, it remains to be seen. Quadrilla have actually applied for an extension. They've already experienced significant delays, and we know that the local council have actually registered their objection to any extension being awarded. Meanwhile, of course, all around the country, people are starting to take a look at the deeper issues associated with the fracking agenda. Now, David Cameron was in Darwin in Lancashire a couple of days ago, and he was met with local protesters there. Now, these people that are coming out to protest are not activists. In many cases, they're people that probably have never participated in any political protest previously whatsoever. But this is an issue that really is reaching out to the wider masses. People are starting to do a bit of research. They're looking on the internet. They're looking at the impact of the fracking operations in Colorado, in New Mexico, in Texas, in Pennsylvania, and more recently from New South Wales and Australia. And they're realizing that the suggestion that the water table gets contaminated, that the soil gets contaminated, and people are breathing methane contaminating atmospheres is more than just a conspiracy. It's actual fact. The reality is that wherever this process is unleashed in the world, it results in contamination. Yet here we have the arrogant British establishment basically claiming that just because it happens anywhere else, it won't happen here, or that British regulatory authorities will look after the interests of the people. Well, I think the track record would suggest otherwise. We have a very interesting situation going on here in the UK right now. This could be a political game changer. The politicians are going to realise, if they haven't already, that to support the fracking agenda is going to mean the fact that they are probably kicked off the gravy train, unless, of course, the voting is rigged. And that wouldn't happen in a democracy, would it? Well, the reality is Balcombe is the front line in the UK right now. Unfortunately, in the US, in Canada, in Australia, and some other countries around the world, the fracking agenda is well underway. In the UK, it's right at the very first rung. If Balcombe is successful, then it will force a significant rethink in the energy policy of this country. As this unites people from disparate various organisations around the country, and people put aside their differences on other issues and they focus on this central issue of hydraulic fracturing, who knows, if this achieves what people want it to achieve, and an ultimate ban on fracking, which is really the only acceptable outcome, once this is achieved, then who knows what they'll move on to. This is Ian R. Crane signing off on day 16 of the Balcombe blockade.